What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Terry Duran. I got a special guest with me today. I got my man Drip Davis with me. What's going on, Drip?
What's good? What's good? What's good, man?
Not much, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. I wanted to chop it up with somebody that's in a different generation than me, that kind of gets a perspective on dating in the digital world and your experience on dating at a HBCU.
Right.
Before we get started, man, let the audience know a little bit about you and what you got going on at TSU, man.
Man. So, like you said, my name is Drip Davis, but I also have so many names. If you don't know me by Drip, you know me by Ken, Cool Ken, Kenny Crack, Kenny Christ, Kenny. You know, any one of them is fine. But what I do is I do the radio at TSU. I'm in the grad program and I do film as well. So I mean, I'm pretty rounded in media. You know, I do my thing.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to all the people out there in media, chopping it up, creating content for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Got a special place in my heart for the creatives.
Right.
But today we're gonna be talking about some dating. All right. So you still in graduate school? You still in the college atmosphere? One of the things that come up every time I talk to somebody in their 20s or relatively young, the first thing that they talk about is how much social media has impacted their dating. Can you give me a little perspective on what it's like dating in this social media world and how that impacts your dating world?
Man, with me, I think that I live in a world surrounded by people who hate social media and dating. Most of the girls you hear them, they talk about, they say, relationships would be better if it wasn't social media. You know, even guys. But me, I feel like social media, it really didn't change dating. It really just gave you a quicker access to somebody when dating, because somebody that you would see at school, back then you would have to probably go wait till you saw them again at school, maybe 2-3 days. And now you see them on campus. You ask somebody, hey, you know her name? They pull up the Instagram real quick, you know. And now it went from you waiting to go find her for 2 days to you done just like 5 pictures and shot a DM. You know.
All right, so it definitely shortens the process. One of the things that when I was in grad school at TSU, my final project, I did my research on how Facebook impacted men's sexual relationships. And so my research was able to show that just by being on Facebook or being active on Facebook, it increased a man's opportunities to have sexual encounters. Now, some just had conversations, some exchanged pictures and videos, some actually linked up. But my hypothesis was proved that just being on social media and the avenues it creates when it comes to meeting women, being able to have private conversations, and exchange the vital info, phone number, address, etc.
Right.
So I was very aware that social media presented opportunities because I was getting pussy on social media back when we was on dial-up internet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So 2002, 2001, 2002, we on College Club, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Meeting chicks and linking up with other chicks and stuff. So
Yeah.
I knew then, because ultimately all it takes to be able to potentially date a woman or have sex with her is to meet her.
Absolutely.
One conversation can lead to, you said, pulling up her social media handle, and now you have a way to reach out to her, and if she's interested, she can communicate back.
With me, I think with what you saying, that is so funny, because it takes away the whole process of people having to go out and meet someone. Because when you're on social media, the stuff that you post, if you're on Facebook, you posting statuses. If you're on Instagram, you posting pictures. If you're on Twitter, you posting thoughts. So it kind of eliminates some of that time of me having to get to know you. I done followed you on Instagram for 2 months. I know you well enough to have sex. You know, after a conversation, after we done hung out, you know, even if we only hang out once, it's because I ain't have to sit up and court you, you know. And because I can recite certain things that I saw on your gram or I saw on your Twitter or something like that, you automatically feel like I have a connection with you. And which I do, but it's not like a connection.
It's not tangible. But you're right. You know, a large part of being successful from a male perspective is being able to scout the women that you're going to shoot your shot at. Mm-hmm. Men don't just go randomly shooting their shots at the gym, you know, so they got spots they shot.
You got some dudes that just be shooting.
Those ain't the ones that's successful.
Yeah, right.
The men that are successful know they spots and they know where to shoot from. Uh-huh. They shoot their shots. And so
you shoot good shots.
They're that's why they shoot a high percentage. You know what I'm saying? You just shoot some bad shots. What they do on 2K? You're gonna be red, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you have to shoot good shots, meaning you put yourself in position. You put yourself in a position to most likely have your shot go in.
Right.
And so that means you target women that you know are interested in you, or men like you. You use trial and error to learn different things to peep game, to be able to tell which women want to fuck with you and which ones don't. You know, that's not hard to do. It's easy to figure out if a woman is feeling you or not. Right. If you've been doing it since middle school. You know what I'm saying? Like, elementary, middle school. So the men that are adults that are successful with women they have black belts in dating.
Facts.
They've been doing it for decades. Mm-hmm. They've had conversations with women hundreds of times. And tell me if I'm wrong, Drip. When you talk to a new woman, is there anything different or new or unique that you have never heard before talking to a woman?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, I'll never hear something that I haven't heard before, I feel like. But I feel like I have an unfair advantage, too, because I have 3 big sisters. So I feel like maybe, but see, now that you said, then I feel like, well, shit, maybe I ain't, just no cream of the crop. Like, maybe that's what they all do.
No, see, it's really, we all have uniquenesses, you know what I'm saying, and different experiences or whatnot. But those differences are just favorite music, favorite food, different type stuff. The stuff women want when it comes to dating and men is really, really, really routine. Like, you could have 1,000 women in a conference, and you just say, "Hey, write down the top 5 things y'all want in a man." You would probably be able to guess all 5 things that
I could probably write all 5.
You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. It's not that hard to figure out what women want. Fuck boys are able to figure it out. Dudes that are dropouts are able to figure it out. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not rocket science. It's not, but that's because every time you talk to a chick, you know what they like. You know what they want. You know that they care about attention. You know that they want to be valued and viewed as sexy and all this type of stuff. So when you have these conversations, especially if you've been dating lots and lots of women, you start to notice, like, man, my conversations kind of go the same. Oh, for real, where you from? How many sisters are? Oh, that's crazy. What high school you into? Oh, you don't look like you ran track. The same kind of conversation, right? They tell you something they did. You ask a couple follow-up questions. Oh, okay. I don't see you as a piano type. That's what's up. Like, you may learn something that you didn't expect or something new, but that fits into one category. Yeah. Learning something new. You know what I'm saying?
Almost like a formula.
Yeah, like if you meet a chick and she tell you, yeah, in high school I did MMA, you'll be like, oh, that's crazy. I didn't.
Right. Because even in a formula, like, you got room for variables, and those
they're going to be
variables.
Something small, but everything else is going to pretty much fall in line with what you've experienced with most other women.
Right.
And that's why it's so easy to observe the patterns and prepare for them, and men can come up with strategies to be able to get through these defenses or these strategies that a lot of women think that they're really doing something that they're not. And it's like I'm pretty sure you see in my comments a lot of women, I get backlash when I point out, like, man, this the men that y'all really like, the men that have the credentials that y'all look for, they've heard all this before. They're not surprised to see that you're inconsistent. They're not shocked or surprised to see that you being hypocritical when it comes to him doing something and you doing something.
Right.
Like, this is, I guess from I always viewed it as just part of the game. So you try to the game because that's what you got to do to be able to fuck with attractive women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so just like there are certain things that they got to do to fuck with attractive men. Like it is what it is. You can complain about it, but
it ain't gonna change.
It ain't gonna change it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I find myself, I be trying to school people and give them a perspective on what they can do to find quality men that have ambition, that have professional skill set, that they can bring home to mom, that they can build a life with, but they seem to treat it like I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, so I wanted to bring somebody on that's up and coming in the game, somebody that's not taken, still single, still doing their thing, and see how much our perspectives and our observations align.
Man, like with what you say it's so crazy because I thought that like the older that the women got, because I've dealt with some women that were like probably twice my age, probably a little bit over twice my age, probably a little bit, and like you try to date, like, because I've dated a lot of women, and like I try to like see like, all right, well, let me try to date somebody a little different, and see if it's something that's gonna change.
So you were seriously trying to like dating like towards possibly getting in a relationship with an older woman like
that? Really, I date for knowledge. I date for understanding, like, because I feel like I date for practice. Now I've had my share of serious relationships. I've had maybe 2 or 3, like maybe 2 serious relationships. But I mean, still being young, I know I haven't had like enough to say like I've actually been through some crazy stuff. I ain't never been engaged or nothing like that. But I like to think that I date for understanding, and I've dated like a few women that I felt like were probably out of my comfort zone or out of my norm. Maybe
what you mean?
Like maybe like a older woman, maybe like 50, who when I would go for that party girl that was in the club.
That's big. I can't picture you dating a 50-year-old woman.
Man, I'm telling you, I didn't talk to some. When I say date, I don't mean like, oh, we just like sitting up, going on dates every day, and like she cooking me dinner, I'm sleeping with her every night. But I'm saying like, if I'm dating you, I'm hanging out with you, I'm talking to you, I'm learning from you, and we gonna have sex, and we probably go out to eat 2 times, But I ain't seeing you every day, I ain't talking to you every day, but I'm in a situation to where we can bounce knowledge off each other. You could teach me, like I want to learn from you. Situation. So
that's always a sign. People that are successful with dating, that's one of the things that you'll observe. Like women like men that they learn from, or they can have in-depth conversations with. And so being a good communicator, being able to have those kind of, like when you're ambitious, when you can talk to a chick and you let her know what you're doing and what your plans are, and I got this set up and I'm working on this. They like hearing those kind of thoughts and seeing the ball rolling, and seeing men that have the heart and the wherewithal to try to make something happen. Like you were telling me earlier, you were into promotion and doing parties and things. Like those are the type of things that show initiative and set you apart from your peers, in the dating world. So you're setting yourself up to be successful with dating. So for a guy like you and your friends that live similar lifestyle, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you say? Well, how would you rate your desire to get married? Yeah. See, I know I put him on the spot with that. But be honest. I want to honest.
I'm gonna be honest because I drove out here. But I ain't gonna lie. Like my desire to get married on a scale of 1 to 10 is probably like a 3. Honestly,
all right, that's real. That's what I think it is for most guys. Okay, and so I said that because I knew it was gonna be low, right? I knew it wasn't going to be on a 9, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of women are. And so that's how most men treat it, though. Yeah. That's how most men view it. It's something, it's optional, it's possible. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It still could happen.
It still could happen. But
not a strong chance.
to me, I I knew it was a possibility,
Mm-hmm.
but based off my experiences with women, I would never thought that I would be able to maintain a relationship with a woman that long.
Mm-hmm.
Because women, from my experience, after a couple of months, after they get comfortable, they start doing things that are annoying. They start like not to say that I don't do things that are annoying,
right?
but how can I put it? Like I'm really basic. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm super simple. Like so. I'm not bringing problems to the equation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gonna get a consistent version of me that you got really since day one. You're gonna get treated with respect. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna do my part. I'm willing to clean up and do chores and pay bills. Like I'm gonna do everything that is on my list of duties to do. And so you're not gonna have no major issues out of me. You know what I mean? And so, but I never thought that I would be able to deal with a woman for that long. You know what I mean? And so. I wanted to steer that towards talking about compatibility because I think that's the difference between that makes a guy in your position go from a 3 to dating a chick like your feelings towards marrying her is like a 7. Like okay, you know what I'm saying? Like then y'all been kicking it so long to where everybody expects. Oh, where's Tracy at? Oh, she at the crib, woo. Like, oh, she at her mama's. Like, when you get to that level to where all your people, where she at? And you're like, I can't believe you. That's when you start thinking like, man, we actually like together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a natural, organic process. And what I see in this generation of women is they're trying to start the dating process out by getting guarantees or assurances that the relationship is going to get to that level. And I think that's where you go from a 3 to a negative number. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Instead of improving or increasing your desire to get to that level of a relationship with her. What has your experience been with women trying to pressure or force things to happen?
I'm gonna just start off and go with the ugliest. Like I've had girls propose to me, and I don't know, like so if it was like.
Did you say no? How'd you handle it?
It's one of those things.
I got asked that a couple of times, and I'm like, man, that just seems so awkward.
Man, look, I had girls I didn't broke up with them, and when I broke up with them, they didn't got my name tattooed on them after I break up with them, and then they come back and like, hey, I got your name tagged. And so like the way I see it, it's like it's crazy. It's different.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's different for me, but I'm not gonna say that I haven't been in a situation to where I thought that I was with a person. Now I want to say this probably only happened to me one time in my life. Sorry to everybody whose feelings get hurt if they this. But I've only been with one girl in my whole life that I felt that like, alright, fuck it, I'm done with the hoes, I'm done with the game, I ain't cheating on nobody no more, like I'm gonna marry this motherfucker right here. And it was like I put my all into that, and it didn't work out. And it wasn't like, I was toxic or like one of us cheated or anything like that. It was just, the love was like strong, but, all the checkpoints weren't there. Like, you had maybe like somebody love language wasn't the same. Like, if, she could tell me she loved me.
Just because you vibe with somebody don't mean that y'all are compatible long term. So, and a lot of people struggle with that. Because you have time, you have feelings involved, like you feel a sense of loyalty to the person and things of that nature, but it's okay. Like everybody you date, you're not going to have a happily ever after with, but that don't mean you have to have a negative or a hateful attitude towards them either. Yeah. Like sometimes
for a fact,
timing is an issue. It could be distance. It could just be they're not at that phase in their life, age differences. There could be a lot of different things that y'all wasn't able to date in 2014, but 2019 is a possibility. Luck plays a factor. You could meet somebody that you wasn't ready for when they wanted a relationship, but by the time you're ready, she already got a baby with somebody. So now you're presented with, are you willing to accept, being a stepdad or like so. The older you get, the more complicated it gets. But For the youngsters out there that are in their 20s, that are getting out of college or whatnot, these are the type of things that can make the difference between you being the chick that show up every year at homecoming with a quality dude that everybody been seeing y'all together for 12, 13 years, or the chick that takes an approach to dating that gets you eliminated your junior year, and then you really never get back on that level with that type of guy again. You know what I mean? Like, so, because, man, that's a real thing. You know what I mean? Like, some of the chicks that I know, like, I just turned 40, so my age group is getting late 30s to where, you know, some chicks are in their mid 40s where they never gonna have kids. They always had this, I'm gonna meet the Mr. Perfect and we're gonna get married type dreams. But now it's starting to become a reality check when that's not really happening for them. You know what I mean? Like, so we can correct some of these flawed dating strategies with some of these things that women are doing that's decreasing their chances of bringing that 3 to a 5 and a 5 to a 7. Then we can nip it in the bud now. Maybe we can increase their chances in the future.
I would say for advice, anything, like, it took me a while to even be on this myself. Be honest. Like, when you looking to date somebody, be honest about how you feel, and then also keep in mind to, like, what you've done in the past, so you know how you could potentially feel. So you leave a space to say, all right, you know, I'm feeling this way right now, but, you know, me knowing myself, we might have to have a conversation again in 3 months to make sure we still feeling the same way. You know, I feel like a lot of women that I've dated, I'm not going to say a lot of women because, you know, women get mad when you say women or a lot of women, but a lot of women.
We're not talking about all women.
Yeah, I'm talking about a lot of women that I've dated. You know, we be cool, everything be fine, and then after a while, how you said earlier, you say people get comfortable. And I feel like that comfortability thing, like, that's a huge issue. It's like, you know, like...
Well, it's okay to be comfortable, man. A healthy relationship, you should be comfortable.
No, I'm not saying, like...
But what I mean by that is they don't put the effort into eliminating the problems, resolving issues effectively, communicating effectively. Like, they get lazy in the aspects that really matter, you know, and
what I'm saying is, by being comfortable is, don't start farting around me. You know, like, you done got too comfortable. You using the restroom with the door open. Like, don't get that kind of comfortable. Because once you start to get that kind of comfortable, then I know all the other stuff you're talking about, like the communication,
Well, that's not really.
Man, nah, I don't want you farting around me. I don't want you. Don't use the restroom with the door open. Like, come on.
Man, you in for a rude awakening. That's not a realistic expectation.
Nah, that's realistic. That's realistic. Because if we set that out in the beginning, like, come on, don't you do that. Like, don't you do that.
Oh, man, that come with the territory, man. That's funny that you bring that up, man. Because I'm a privacy person. So I hate when she comes in and I'm using the restroom. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, but man, privacy goes out the window, man. Once you married with kids, man, especially if you the only man in the house, man, you'll grow out of that.
I don't know, man. I'll probably be single forever.
Cause that's something really small. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what I meant by you should be comfortable. It's just like you would be with one of your partners. If you got something to talk to, you could have something bad or something negative that you got to discuss, but you trust. It's trust there.
Right.
You know that they not trying to hurt you or fuck over you. So if you're with somebody in a healthy relationship, you have that same thing. You know your spouse is your teammate. They're not treating you like they're your opposition. They're not treating you like they're your competition, like a lot of people do, unfortunately. Right. You know, and there are a lot of people in dysfunctional relationships. But when you're in a relationship where both people can openly communicate, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a problem with me, you can come to me, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't mean it like that. Like, you wouldn't know, my bad. You'll get an apology. Like, if you with somebody where the foundation of the relationship is mutual respect, if they said something that offended you or made you feel some type of way, they go my bad. They gonna give you an apology. Man, why did you say something like, you're not gonna get a petty, slick remark. You're not gonna get them trying to escalate it further. You know what I mean? Like, like some people do.
That's a tough thing right there too, because I think that what you're talking about right now, I've had an issue with that before, where like I've done something that's bothered a person, and maybe I didn't think that it was bothering them, but nonetheless I apologized for it, and then I stopped, and then roles reversed, something was bothering me, and now all of a sudden, oh, that's a little issue. Like, why you get mad about that? Like, oh, you tripping? And I'm like, come on, like, even if it's, this big to you, like, it could be this big to me. And I've had issues with the relationship like that. And I ain't never thought about it like that, because it's like you put this into a person and then they don't give you nothing back.
Well, man, it's hard for some people to accept criticism. Mm-hmm. That they'll take it as an attack. They'll take it, they take it all type of ways. Right. You know what I mean? But the core of any healthy relationship is being able to be honest about the negative shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can get to have a conversation about a beef or a misunderstanding without it ever getting disrespectful, without ever getting me trying to call you out or question your manhood or some type of shit. If you can get to that type of level, that's how you have friendships that last 15, 20 years. Right. Because y'all ain't gonna never fall out over shit. Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't talked in 8 months, but y'all see each other and it's still all good. It's what's going on. Okay, that's great. Right. Oh, you got a baby. Like, it's not no beef. Right. It's not no built up animosity. Mm-hmm. It's not no jealousy. It's not none of those type of things. And a lot of times people get into relationships without going through the dating phase. Right. You met last week and he told you how beautiful you was and he loved you and now he's your man. Right. Like, oh, come on, sis. What are you thinking? But they be so desperate to get in a relationship that they fall for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
see, when you say that, I think too, it is that they desperate to get into a relationship, but a lot of women they feel bad about wanting to have sex. So instead of just saying they want to have sex, they want you to say that you their man. And a lot of dudes are willing to lie and be like, yeah, I'm your man, to get some sex. Instead of a woman just saying, hey, I want some sex. Can we, have a conversation and we talk through the sex, because that's reasonable. Like, we can have sex and we can talk. You want to, all right, well, we can only have sex.
So it's a label game.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like in my generation, that's what it is. You want that label so bad, but like you don't understand that the label don't come with no substance. At this point, niggas is doing whatever,
See, I hated dudes that make every girl that they trying to fuck their girlfriend. Right. This week she's your girlfriend. Then you got another girlfriend another week. Like I only had like 4 girlfriends. Like,
I think I had like 3.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you
girlfriend,
girlfriend that I caught, that if somebody be like, that's your girlfriend, I'm gonna say yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just because we fucking for a long time don't mean you my girlfriend. Right. Like, I'll be like, we kick it. You know what I'm saying? Right. We cool. But for me to say you my girlfriend means that we agreed that we in a relationship. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's not necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I always hated dudes that did that, because to me that's lame behavior.
No, that is. It's definitely lame behavior, but you have to also look at that woman who wants to say like, all right, we can do this, but you gotta
only if you my boy.
Yeah, you gotta call yourself a man. Now,
do you think that that's the woman just begging to get fucked over?
I feel like not she begging to get fucked over, but it's like you walk up to the stupid house expecting something that's not stupid. Like, don't go to the stupid house like, hey, y'all don't act stupid today. Nah, they go act stupid today because that's what you
but to me, that's like just putting a neon light on your forehead. Like, you can have all my money, but only if you say you're my friend. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Like, so a woman,
you signed up for it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that what was done to you was right, but I'm saying that you asked for it.
Yeah, see, I learned my lesson from doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you start getting accusations of women saying you leading them on.
Right.
Once you start getting in the situationships where she said she was cool with casual sex, y'all, you beating it up, you fucking. Now all of a sudden she feels different, and now she's in her feelings.
Yeah.
Like after a couple of them conversations, men start trying to figure out ways to avoid it. And what do? They start giving women disclaimers. They start having the catch feelings conversation.
Right.
Hey, woo woo woo. Hey, I want to be single. Hey, I'm single. We both single. Remember, we both like men are doing that shit because they've had those accusations thrown. You just playing games. You just doing this when you like, man. You told me we told each other from the jump what it was.
Right.
Like I wasn't hating when I saw you with your boyfriend at the bar. I kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I knew we was fucking and we agreed it was a secret.
Right.
Like so. Those are the type of situations that cause men to try to give the disclaimers, give women a roadmap on how things are expected to go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, feelings can change. That's perfectly normal.
And sometimes they do.
You just have to have a conversation, and you have to go into it understanding that just because you feel that way, don't mean that the other person's gonna feel that way.
And they don't have to.
And they don't have to. If you can do that, you are perfectly fine. And that's when you get to decide, do you want to continue being involved with that person? Or do you say, nah, I can't handle this and I need to step away?
Right.
You can't place that responsibility on the other person. It's the person who's trying to lose weight that has to say no to the slice of cake. Not to the person that ordered the cake. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to the skinny person that's in like, man, this all delicious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
you can't get mad because they sitting over there eating that motherfucking cake. That's what they ordered because they wanted it.
All right. You can't place that responsibility on somebody else.
Right.
And on my page, whenever situationships come up in that type of discussion where it's two people casually dating or just fuck buddies, friends with benefits or whatever, they'll say that it's up to the man to cut it off because the woman, they know she's not too weak to do it or her feelings are too strong. And it's like, come on, man. I don't like the lack of accountability.
Facts. It's always gonna be that double standard. And like I said, I wanna reiterate that I was raised by my older sisters. So they the ones who put me on game. So all the women that have got mad at me blame my sisters. But what you saying, man, is so honest because, like, I wanted to say, I saw a post on Twitter the other day, and it was a guy, and he posted a picture of a girl, and of course they were smashing. I mean, it was like a sexy ass picture they were taking, and he was like, I can't wait till I find somebody like this that I can have that's just friends, just friends. And so another girl retweeted and she was like, oh, y'all love falling in love with people without giving them a title. But I'm like, look, all these women for years, y'all have been saying, guys, tell the truth to girls. If y'all just tell the truth, this'll be what it is. And I'm like, look, I started being honest to girls about 4 years ago, like, when I was like, man, I'm tired of cheating. Like, I had to cover my tracks too much. Like, I was in a relationship. And I just came out and told my girlfriend, I was like, man, I'm cheating on you. Like this is what I'm doing because I'm tired of running around. I'm tired of hiding it. So it's like, even when you be honest, if somebody else is outside looking at your situation, and it could be like one of your friends, one of your cousins, they know the situation, and me and you got to understand it, it's still going to be a problem. So if I'm in a relationship with you and, I'm cheating on you, it's a problem. But if I'm not in a relationship with you and I'm being real with you, straight up and honest with you, talking to other girls, it's still a problem. So it's like, the way I do it, I mean, live your life, have fun. But I find it easier for me.
It's less stressful.
Yeah, to be honest about it, because whether you get mad or not, you knew what it was. Like, and I don't mean to say that in a arrogant way, a cocky way, but I say that as you knew what it was, I knew what it was. So if it happened to me, I knew what it was. Don't feel bad.
And you're right, man. That's one of the I can attest to that as well. Early in my marriage, I cheated, and now I don't. You know what I'm saying? Even though I got way more opportunities to cheat now. But it's felt so much better to not have to hide my phone, or you know what I'm saying,
Right.
my wife to need to use my phone, and I'm not tripping. I'm not
Straight edge, yeah. You ain't over there sweating, hoping she'll go through them pictures of that call.
Yeah, like so to be, you know what I'm saying, like to, like when you married and like when you got a family and all that, for me, part of the reason that I can give the perspective that I give is because I know can't none of these hoes screenshot me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, none of them pull up no video, no picture, no
Mm-hmm.
nothing of me trying to fuck, trying to be thirsty, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives me a sense of like, shit, I don't got no reason to lie to y'all.
Right.
I don't have nothing that I know. If my marriage failed, it wouldn't be my fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's really all the only thing you can do. We about to have our 15-year anniversary. There ain't no guarantee we gonna be together forever. I can't see no reason for us to get divorced, but you never know what could happen.
Right.
But I can say that as long as I could continue behaving the way that I'm behaving now, it won't be my fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and that's really, man, that's a wonderful feeling from a male perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially raising a daughter and all that type of stuff. But that comes from that being honest. Like, that's the difference between being a real man and a fuckboy.
Mm-hmm.
A real man is gonna present a real perspective of himself, his lifestyle, his credentials, what he's expecting and what he's looking for out of a situation. And either you cool with it or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been a side dude before. Know your lane, stay in it. Perfect it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can be true to who you are, you'll have a lot more success with all your relationships.
And not even
business,
just relationships. Yeah.
Business relationships.
Life, yeah.
College, you know what I'm saying, school, academic relationships. Like, being honest and being transparent, man, it goes a long way, but man, it come with a lot of backlash.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because people say that they want honesty and transparency until you give it to them,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, you hate women, you hate this, you're a misogynist, and then there's all this type of stuff. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
that's like that saying, give me the truth, and then you know the loud voice always come out, you can't handle the truth. Like, I never understood what it meant as a kid, but as I got older, I'm like, damn, I'm telling the truth. You asked for the truth. Now you mad at me again. Now you didn't ask me a question. Now it's 20 more questions that came with the truth.
You don't know whether you should be honest or not.
Right.
And it kind of puts you in a lose-lose situation. You know what I mean? Like, where one thing that guys tend to do is you talk in you tell stories to women in fragments. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, the chick that got a million questions, you tell what you do today. Oh man, we was at the station and then you skip to 6 p.m. and then my fucking tire got flat.
That's what I did today.
But you learn that type of behavior from shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, where motherfucker, you talking about, who took you to the tire stop? Who did this? Like, you getting questioned about all kind of details, and you ain't even my girl. You ain't even my woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, I don't look at that as necessarily fuckboy behavior, but it's you're adapting, because it's not necessarily lying if you don't tell a person about everything you did. Like, you can't say, I got my face rolled for about 6 or 7 minutes.
You can't say like that. Hey, the government ain't out here telling us aliens flying around. Like, they holding a lot of shit from us too.
Like, you can't be that transparent even when you single. You know what I mean? Like, so certain things you have to, you know, keep to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Keep private or whatnot. Mm-hmm. But that comes from, you know, how people respond to honesty. You know what I mean? There are certain things that you just don't want to know anyway. Like, if you hit a chick up what you doing, you don't want her to be like, cleaning this nut off my face.
Right. But I didn't talk to a few girls that was so open with me that they wanted me to tell them about, like,
other
if
chicks?
I was talking, like, if I had done something with another girl that day. But that's very rare. Because usually, like, even if a girl know you talking to other girls, like, hey, all right, don't, you know, keep that.
When the last
time
you had sex?
Keep that away from me. Keep that away from me.
You got, I always say, when the last time you had sex? like man, a couple days ago, you know what I'm saying?
I let people know, if you want me to tell the truth to you, I will. That's what. If you want me to tell the truth to you, I will. But I don't think you want me to tell the truth to you.
Trying to save them from themselves.
Right.
Oh man! All right, this has been a real good conversation, y'all. My man Drip Davis been up here dripping the juice, giving us the perspective on life. You consider a millennial, right?
Yeah, I'm a millennial.
Yeah, millennial dating, social media, and all the things that come with it. Man, I appreciate you taking the time to drive way out here to the crib, chop it up with your boy.
No problem.
Before we go, man, let them know how they can reach you, where they can catch you.
On my social medias. All my social media, Instagram at Drip Davis, just like how it sound. Twitter at Drip Davis, just like how it sound. I don't get on Snapchat really, but you can catch me on Snapchat at Kenny Crack. And that's what it is. I mean, usually I'm on Instagram or I'm on Twitter. Twitter mainly. I be putting my thoughts on Twitter sometimes. But I mean, that's where you can catch me. And KTSU too, The Voice. That's where you hear me rocking out on the mic, doing my thing.
All right, man, it's your boy Terry DeRon, man, giving y'all some good games, some real man-to-man conversation. Hope y'all learned something. Hope y'all got some entertainment value out of it. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Share the video with your friends. Like and subscribe to the page, and we'll keep showing love in the future. Appreciate you, man.